So maybe like me, you've been running for a while, and I don't know, maybe you've done something stupid like sign up for a marathon, having never run one before in your life. Done lots of halves, and I've never really seen a massive improvement in my time. I've always been sort of 2:10, 2 hours 10 for a half marathon, give or take, you know, 5 minutes either side. Once I came in under 2 hours, that was a fluke. So yeah, so with that in mind, I thought, let's have a look at a proper training plan. Why aren't I able to improve my times? Because I've improved my distances. My last training spate before the Birmingham Half Marathon, which I brought in at 2:10, 2:09 something, I was up to 17 miles. So the distance is improving, but you know, I mean, the time just doesn't seem to be doing it. So I thought, okay, how do we do this? How do we improve this time? And what I found out is that although I was doing the 80-20 split, which probably most of you are doing, we all know the 80-20 split, I absolutely wasn't doing it right according to the training plan that I'm following. So I thought I'd take a moment just to share it with you. It might make sense to you and you might go, yeah, absolutely. I have been Googling, YouTubing, I was going to say reading, listening to the audiobooks of many elite and ultra distance running coaches. I've learned a lot about nutrition, hydration and training plans, and they all talk about the 80-20. Very few of them talk about heart rate these days. In fact, I can't think of any of the modern books or any of the modern coaches that refer to heart rate when they're talking about easy runs and hard runs. They all talk about perceived effort, so it should feel easy. Okay, so why do I think you might be doing your easy runs wrong, even if you understand this concept? First of all, if you are doing it by heart rate, I was going to do a blanket bin it, okay, but do you know what, some people might find it useful. Okay, let's talk about what your body's doing when you're running. So your body is taking fuel, generally in the form of sugar and oxygen, and it is metabolizing this and giving your muscles the energy to propel you forward. I think most people have heard of the lactate threshold. So in order to metabolize the sugars and utilize them as energy, we need oxygen. Now, your body can only take on so much oxygen. Your VO2 max is a good indication of how much oxygen your body can sort of exchange when you're exercising. Higher the number, the better your body is able to cope with it. So your body can take on a certain amount of oxygen which it needs to metabolize the fuel. As long as it's doing this, as long as it's only burning as much fuel as the oxygen your body can take on can metabolize, you're under your lactate threshold. You're exercising aerobically with oxygen. The second you go above that, the second you start working harder than that, and your body can no longer process the fuels with the amount of oxygen you can take on board, your body starts to work anaerobically without oxygen. This is when you may have heard about lactic acid, so lactate and hydrogen ions forming together to make lactic acid, which is a product of the muscles doing the job they do. Now, the second your body can't process that, or the second your body is producing more than it can process because you're processing it all the time, then you go into, like I say, the anaerobic portion of your session, and you start to get problems with fatigue and so on. So that's your lactate threshold, which you're probably aware of if you've been running for a while. Now, how can you tell if your body hits that lactate threshold? The truth is, without a bank of scientists and machines and doctors and stuff like that, you can't. But this is where the easy run, hard run concept comes in. So on a heart rate easy run measurement, zone if you like, zone 1, zone 2, lactate threshold, zone 3, zone 4, possibly zone 5, that's the way they set it. So if you're in zone 2, you're acting aerobically, you're below your anabolic, your lactate threshold, so you're in an easy state. Okay, great stuff, but you don't know when that's happening. And this is why I say heart rate as an indicator isn't that good. My zone 2 hits in about, I think, 31 beats per minute, something like that. So once I hit that, apparently I've hit my lactate threshold and I'm operating anaerobically. But I can sit in front of the telly watching the rugby and my heart rate go over that, and there's no way I'm burning calories anaerobically. I'm just sat watching telly. But my physical, my emotional state has pushed my heart rate up. So your emotional state can have that effect on your heart rate. Your body could be telling you, or your heart rate could be telling you that you're exercising anaerobically, and you're not. You're nowhere near it. So this is why they talk about perceived effort. And basically what they're saying is, I'm just coming to the end now of a 12-mile run, and it's been fairly easy. I've hardly broke a sweat. So this last section I'm walking up, and it still forms a part of my easy run. And my easy run is anything that's, remember, anything that's aerobic, anything that's below that lactate threshold, and it's fairly easy. Okay, that's out the way. Why do I say you might be doing yours wrong? If, like me, the only time you'd ever heard easy, and let's face it, running's not easy. If it was easy, we'd all be doing 2-hour marathons, we'd all be hour marathons or whatever. We'd all be Elliot Kipchoge or Mo Farah if it was easy. Everybody would be doing it. So it's not easy, but it's how you feel, how you perceive it. So I've just done this run. I've made sure it's a flat route. I don't want it to be difficult at all. So I'm running alongside a canal. I've done 6 miles out. I'm doing 6 miles back. It's an easy run. The point of this run is to build up my cardiorespiratory fitness and get my body conditioned to the pounding it'll take over the hours that I'll be running the marathon. To increase the speed of your run, you need to recruit the right kind of muscle fibers, what they refer to as fast twitch muscle fibers, particularly if you're going to be running on a surface like this. And the only way you can get those muscle fibers is by running fast. But the phrase is long, slow and easy, isn't it? But that's not strictly true, is it? Because you'll know if you do a long, slow, easy run, if there's any hills in that run, the start of that hill, no matter how big it is, you actually find that quite easy. Because it doesn't start to hurt until you're a little bit further into it. There's a hill that I've just come up, and I can run probably halfway up it before I really start panting. So the first half of that run, my body wasn't anaerobic, it was aerobic. It didn't start trying to utilize the anaerobic part. I didn't hit the lactate threshold till I was part way up that hill. So even though getting up that hill was not easy, that first section was. Now I could stop there, fully recover, take 5 or 10 minutes, run the next section just as easy. Okay, and this is where that confusion lies. We all do these long, slow runs, easy, and we forget about the short, fast, easy runs. A couple of days ago, I did my first short, fast, easy run. So there's a hill, probably about as steep as these steps in front, a little bit longer. Takes about 8 to 10 seconds to run up it if I sprint really hard. Okay, so walk to the bottom of it, set myself up, sprint really, really hard. I can get to the top, it's easy. Once I'm at the top, I'm knackered, I'm blowing out my arse. All right, full recovery, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes if you need to. Come back to the bottom, do it again. The actual running is easy, and by easy, all I mean is I'm below that lactate threshold while I'm doing it. I get to the top, I'm probably just going into that lactate threshold, that's where I stop. Okay, so as soon as I hit that lactate threshold, I'm stopping. I'm giving my body full chance to recover, so clear all of the lactate out of my muscle system, get my oxygen levels back to normal. I'm not talking about heart rate at all. I'm ignoring my heart rate. I'm not waiting for my heart rate to drop down. I'm just stopping until I feel ready to go again, and then I'm sprinting up it again. So now all of a sudden my easy runs include uphill sprints, and that sounds a bit odd, because if you stop thinking about easy meaning low heart rate and it's simply meaning operating aerobically, you'll find that there's a lot more you can do to increase your speed, so you can do speed work. The hard runs, in case you are interested, the other 20%, so 80% of your runs should be either long, slow and easy or short, fast and easy. Your hard runs are your tempo runs. These are your race pace runs. So if you're training for a specific race, and you want to do it in a specific time, if you want to do, say, a half marathon in under 2 hours, what's that, a 9 minute, 9.25 minutes, something like that, 9 minute 15 mile, them are your tempo runs, them are your hard runs, trying to get to that pace, so working hard at those distances, at those paces. If you're a professional runner, you don't need me to tell you any of this, and you feel free to say I'm talking shizer. All of the information I've just given you has come from the plan that I'm working to, which is a plan devised and outlined in the book Run Elite by Andrew Snow, if you're interested in looking that up. And he goes into much more detail about what's actually happening with your body when you go for these runs. So I thoroughly recommend it. I'm listening to it on audiobook literally right now. But it's just this bit about easy runs. I just had to share it because I've been doing it wrong. I've been doing it wrong for years. I don't know whether it's going to work yet. Arc of Attrition is in January, and then I'll do the Birmingham half in May. And if I can bring that in under 2 hours, then I'll say this plan has worked. Anyway, stay safe, have fun. Catch you later.